Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So I'm gonna work on, want to do like a little scene with like cute little monsters, and I'm gonna use this watercolor paper that I did my print offs on yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's video, what I did was I was using stamps in the mixed media, and the extra ink and stuff on the couple stamps that I was using, I just had an extra piece of paper and I stamped off, so I already have some texture. So I want to make just a cute scene, and I like this paper. It's watercolor paper, and it is by Strathmore, and it's 12 by 12. And I'm like so into this lately, rather than the big, because I have tons of big watercolor paper. But I just like this because it gives me, I don't know, it does something for me. So I want to take some light blue and white and dark blues. And we're going to do the whole background. And la, 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 la. And I will just paint, I'm going to paint up layer on layer, if that makes sense. So I know I'm not doing any blue monsters or anything like that, so I'm going to stick with that for the background. And you can see I'm just kind of putting it around. And that was cobalt teal, and this is cobalt turquoise hue. And you can see there's no really rhyme or reason. It's just getting some color down. And I think that's all I'm going to do as far as starting with the background. And I'm just going to go. I'm going to start with the white, and I'm going to spread that out. And because those stamps underneath are permanent, they're not going to be lifted up. And, you know, if some of it peeks through, I'm going to be thrilled. So I'll probably water things down so I can get some of that through. Look at the difference in the blue. That's nice. And I want to really make sure I get the bottom and the sides and the top. And I want that around the edge. And I don't care how dark or light it becomes. I just want none of that white paper showing. Now this is where you can go in and wet your brush a little bit, and it'll help you spread out some of that paint, because you don't need it so thick, I guess is the word. You're gonna hear my kittens playing with stuff. I swear they wait until I get ready to paint or record. And I can't be mad at them because they're so stinking cute. But they're little buggers. I'm not used to having kittens. At least kittens like this. They're lovable, and they love to be, they sit on my daughter constantly. She's like their mother. And but they like to play. Now they're starting to play. Let's see who can walk down the hall the fastest. If I go to walk down the hall, all of a sudden they're behind me. And it could be a pain. Okay, so pain for me because I trip on them, and then you know how that goes. Anybody who has animals or small kids knows. Okay, so you can see like the different blues in here. This one I want to mute a little bit more, but I think I'm going to go in now with a little more of the cobalt teal and shake it up, because why not? And I'm going to do a drop, do a drop. I'm going to kind of pick, you know, a little bit of the areas. Now you can see that those things coming through the paint. I love it. Okay, that's all I want to do. And I'm going to just kind of I barely am holding my brush, or barely touching the background, I should say. And it's just going to give it, you know, a little bit of something, something. Okay, and that's all I'll do right now. Let me pat out some of that. Now, if you want more of your background to show through, which I'm pretty happy with that, if my camera would stay, I thought I turned autofocus off. Let me see. I don't want autofocus. Okay. And I'm going to go over this with a wet brush. And then I'm going to dry my brush and then go back and pick up some of that water. Dry my brush again and just go over those little areas where I wet. Yeah. It'll just have them come through a little bit more. At the end, will they show? I have no idea. So I'm going to dry this real quick. Okay. Then I'm just going to use my regular pencil. I'm not going to go in for anything, use anything in particular. And I love using a mechanical pencil because it just writes lighter for me. I can hold it and it doesn't bother anything. And I just want to make these little guys. So they're basically, let's see. I'm going to make a circle here. And they're just going to be little guys. Cute Halloween guys. And I know I want to do straight across. That. I know they look like boobs, but they're not. Okay. And kind of. All right, gotta figure that body. And then I think I might do one more. Let's see. Let's do another round head. Okay. And let's do a small eye and a big eye. And we'll have it up here, and then this. Maybe I'll do this pointy. And the reason I'm doing this is just drawing because somebody asked me for a commission and I'm trying to work it out in my head. So I figured I'll do this and then they can tell me how much, they want it to look like this. So, or what parts they like because they're having a hard time deciding exactly what they want. I think I like these pointy. Okay, kind of like that. And then this guy, I think it would be cool just to make him an eyeball, right? With his feet. I think he needs a little mouth. Okay. Now I just got to figure out this guy's body. Wonder if I should put him up more. No. He's in shorts. Oh, I might have to. Her child is, I hate saying kid because it's ignorant, but I don't mean it ignorantly. Her little boy is afraid of Halloween. So she thought if she had him a painting with cute little guys, it would help. Can you hear my cats? It would help, help a little bit with costumes and that kind of thing. So and the point is to look. She likes my odd stuff, so that was the point, is to make them look odd and not scary. Although this looks scary, this guy. But I can. It's supposed to be weird looking. All right, maybe I will take these down a little more. Like this. Let's see. Maybe we'll do his shorts like this. And then we could put like a belt here just to break up some of that color. I probably should make sure they have hands or not one missing. Okay. I think that will be a little bit better. Just something cute. And I think he should have no, maybe let's see. Maybe I'll do it this way. I was going to do one like a handle, but I think I'll just make him have little cute horns. Have these going a little bit more. I know I'm talking to myself. I'm just talking through this. Okay. Just so I know where to paint. Because I'll be doing it on a canvas, so I want to make sure I have it sketched out. Basically, it'll be different than this, but the same kind of monsters. This just helps me work it out. And this is a bat, so he doesn't need anything. So for now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some, I'm going to start with green, and this is from Americana, multi-surface. I'm going to shake it up. I should use my, oh goodness, if I could find them, my pencils, my Inktense pencils, but we'll try it like this for now. Okay. Going with some green, and I think I'm going to make him green. And I like to outline when I'm done, so if the line's not perfect, I don't care. Do you guys celebrate Halloween? I know some people don't, especially when your kids are grown. We love Halloween, but we don't decorate outside or anything like we used to when the kids were little. Although we love watching horror movies and all that, like, they're in abundance now because Halloween's coming, and how can you be mad at that? Because that's one thing that we love. And I love all the stuff you can buy that's creepy, because that's my everyday decor. But as far as, trick-or-treating and all that, I'm going to make his face a different green, I think. I think I might make it like I don't necessarily want it too bright and matchy, so I'm going to go in with, this color is Timberland Green. Yeah. And I didn't wash my brush off, which is fine. Because it just adds a little something. Helps blend it out. And I'm just going to go over that I drew. So I can just use my marker. In my painting, I didn't even have to list it yesterday. I was so surprised somebody wrote me and wanted to buy it. So I didn't have to list it on Etsy. Okay, so I have that. Which is probably the way I should do it. Is just I keep saying I'm going to do it and I don't because I want to put them on Etsy, but just show all my stuff for sale in a video and then do it that way. But that makes me have to remember to do things and I forget. Okay, so I'm going to do one more coat of this lighter green. That one doesn't need it. And this is the multi-surface one where it is satin. Okay, so I want his eye color to be, what eye color? I want to do a red. Maybe I'll do a red. I don't know if that would be, I want it to be bright in a sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's see. I just don't want it to look Christmassy. Okay, so I'm going to do that. But what I'll probably do, just to kind of make it a little cuter, is put some like polka dots in it maybe. We'll see. Just to make it a little friendlier. We'll see. And you know what? Maybe I'll do, I want to kind of stay in one palette, I think. Let's do his shirt in red. Go over the belt. I can draw that over with a marker. These multi-surface ones are great. Okay. I didn't do his ears. Why didn't I do his ears? Let's do his ears. I can't believe it's so cold here today. It is. We just had to run out. I have my big fleece thing on that I love. But it's like 50 something is the high today, which I'm not complaining. But it's definitely different than last week, which was so warm. I'm just going to touch this color in and then I'll do something over that. But yeah, I just can't believe the difference in the... I have a headache today, and I don't know if it has to do with the weather changing so much or the leaves coming down and the mold. Who knows? I'm just going to color that out. All right. Now I'm going to move over to this guy, and I'm going to make him... what color? What color? What color? dark gray. Let's see how this works. Okay. Can you hear the cats? And my dogs are getting frustrated. They're like sighing. Like, geez, I just want to lay down. And the cats are crazy running. They got their little bit of energy today. I guess because the windows are open. I wanted to open the windows a little bit because I'm going to clean today. And I like the windows open, so I like it to be cool, cool when I go out there and I can do my stuff and not sweat because I'm a sweater. I'm a sweater. That's why I can't wear sweaters. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to do another coat of that. But yeah, so I want the windows open and I just want to clean today. You ever get in those moods that you just want to clean? Like I just put like some laundry away, folded, which is I hate, but I folded it, put them away. Got more to do, but I'll do that later. And I want to clean the kitchen and dining room and living room and the bathroom up here. And then I don't even know what the heck to even do in my daughter's room. That's a mess. My art room's, that's a mess. I'm moving downstairs, so everything's half torn and put in different places. And it's our fall moving. That's what we do. Move stuff around and rooms around and all kinds of stuff because it just shifts the energy for us. Some people say you're quite weird, but I'm sure some of you understand that. So, and you probably understand that I'm weird, but that's okay. I got to change the energy. All right, so this just has to be. Can you hear my dog crying? Oh my God, this is a comical. It's a comical video today. Cats running around. My dog's mad because cats are moving around, running around, disturbing him. I love when people write me and they say to me, I mean this perfect. Like I'm not doing this saying this sarcastically. Cause sometimes I say things like, I love when people write me and they tell me, you really stink at doing art and stuff. But I love when people write me and say, like for instance, in this case, that I love the energy that you put into your paintings, knowing how much pain it can be to do it, and the struggle that it is to do it. And I love that you do it. And they want that energy from me, which I find completely wonderful. It makes me feel so good. Like that people look at it that way. Because not everybody does. Some people don't care. They say, well, maybe if they say, well, if you're so handicapped, you shouldn't be making YouTube videos, which I never understood. I don't think you should say to anybody they shouldn't be making YouTube videos. Because they're free and you don't have to pay for it. That means you don't have to watch it. So your opinion, unless I ask for it. But the whole reason I started this, the YouTube, was for disabled people like me to say, hey, you know what? We can do this. We can do, because so many of you, starting out, what color do we want to do those horns? Let me think for a second. How about purple? Yeah. So many of us starting, when I was on, gosh, how many design teams? I had a whole life before. I had a whole life probably 10 years ago on, that was when Yahoo groups and mail was a big thing. And I was on MySpace and, I was selling art and I was making jewelry and I was selling knitting and selling my clay stuff and all that kind of stuff years ago. And then I started doing live shows, probably, gosh, maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago. That's all I did. I never did YouTube. I did live shows and all that. And then my son died. And then I hated everything and everybody and everything except my animals. And then I didn't want to do, I just was a bad place. And then I decided to join design teams to make me do it. So I joined the Amazing Mold Putty team. And I joined the Creative Paper Clay team. And I joined Things Crafty. And I was on their design teams. And I had a different group on Facebook. And it made me have to do things. I know that doesn't work for everybody, but I really don't like disappointing people. It's like this thing I have. And so if I, had something that was due, like on the design team, I knew I would do it because I didn't want to disappoint. We had a whole team and we had somebody in charge and, it was reflection on a company, not just me. So I made myself do it, and I loved I didn't like the paper clay group as much, design team as much, and it was because of my hands and the paper clay. It's no secret. I love paper clay, and I'll use paper clay once in a while, but with my hands, some people have a heck of a lot easier time with paper clay than polymer clay. So I guess it just depends, but it was just really hard on my hands. It wasn't as enjoyable as doing the Amazing Mold Putty, which I love that stuff. I love Amazing Mold Putty and the resin, and I even have one of my pieces on a box that I did, the box that they sell, which makes me very excited. And, so I really like that, but it did get me back into doing art. And then I got on I think Things Crafty. They changed their name a couple times. Their name now is, what the heck is their name now? Polymer Clay Adventure, I think. They do some sort of, I don't know what the heck they do now. But anyway, I was on there and they were very nice and I loved it, but my health just was getting worse and worse. And I just couldn't keep up with everything that they wanted, and, I had to let go. Yeah, we'll give them that. And then not that anybody cares, but I'm going to talk. Then I got off of there. And I said, you know what? And then people would write me. I mean, that's how I met a lot of people were through my live shows or dealing with other people. I would, Tiffany Windsor and Cool to Craft and all them, and Lisa Fulmer, who I'm still friends with. I met them years ago on Cool to Craft. I mean, years ago. And I still have a nice amount of women in my life, whether we talk every day or not, that I was involved with back then in the doing the live shows and that kind of stuff. I mean, we all kind of, some of them are in my daily life, but we've all went and done things that we love and kind of moved on, but we all kind of started out. Stephanie Gagos and Edie Conyer, and who else? Doc Angie and Christy Sobolewski. Who else is there? Pixie Allen, Annie. I never know how to say her last name. I could say Couture, but I know it's not Couture. It's Ultra Annie Bella. That's probably what you guys will know her by. And gosh, there's so many of them. So many people. Can't remember them all. But we're all on our own adventures. Back in the day, we all started out the same. And it was a fun time. But I think we all grew and, grew into our own things. I'm still friends with Annie. And I'm still friends with all of them. I shouldn't say that, but I'm sure I'm missing people. So don't get mad at me if I don't say your name, because I'm just horrible with names. But yeah, Ultra Bella, I'm still friends with. Should do those legs green. I think I might draw a little squirrel in his hair. I don't know. Okay, but yeah. So I'm sure. Then I got on YouTube and gosh, was doing live shows on here and meeting so many wonderful people, and my numbers just grew and grew and grew, and I still to this day cannot. When I wake up and I see when I go to check weekly on my numbers, or I see whatever, I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. But then I met people who do YouTube like me and saw there was a whole world out there I didn't even know existed like that. And I love it. It's so good. So good, so good. I think I might want to do a cloud or something for him to be sitting on our pedestal. I got to think about that. But what I'm going to do now is I want to trace these so I can see a little bit better what I want. Apparently I painted my pen. All right, so let's do this. Let's see how well this is going to work. If I need my thicker one. You know what I want to do is I want to doodle them all, which I might. I won't bore you while I doodle them. Maybe I'll video it and then put it up fast speed after, like, this part of me drawing it, maybe. So you don't get bored. I'm going to have to use the bigger ones. I might have to use this for. Let's see. And the reason I outline these, like, makes it look more, to me, illustrated, I guess. Not that I'm illustrating these. Come on now, we know I'm not, but you know what I'm saying. It just gives it that kind of look. Probably should have picked a little thinner of a marker, but this is just playing. I'm sitting there babbling today. I don't know what the heck I'm saying. Just kind of talking. But yeah, so that's essentially how I kind of got started on all this. And I was doing it, like I said, for disabled people, to just show, like, hey, look, you know what? I can't use my hands. I can't do clay like I used to. I can't, do certain things. And now I do it because, well, my heart was broken when my son died, but I knew that at some point I had to get back to doing this because I loved it. I love creating. It helps. I mean, it's like me breathing. And when people see it and they're like, isn't that cute? They don't like, and it's like, I know that I worked really hard trying to do it, because guess what? My cats are running in the background again, because it hurts. It's not easy, but you got to do what you got to do. And it's not for anybody. If people like it, then great. If not, then don't watch me. You like it, you watch. You no like, you no watch. And that's how I feel. I don't think it's nice to poop on people's parades of what they love to do. You don't like it, just don't watch it. Anybody, not just me, anybody. I hate when I see people being nasty, like in the comments. And I'm not somebody, I mean, I could, but I learned my lesson once where somebody was being very, And this was a while ago. This was when I was doing live shows with this one lady and a bunch of other people. And the one of the people we were doing the shows with was really nasty. And back then, I didn't care. I had no filter, I mean, I nasty person, nasty I was. I just didn't take crap, I guess, is more like it. But I said something, and I made the person who I was very, very good friends with, but it was her kind of gig, a little upset because I said something and I should have let it go, she said, and it turned into a big thing, and then that kind of ended that. But I forget what my point is. But now I'm a little bit better with that kind of stuff. I just let things go. I just don't like seeing people. Like I said, everybody, and there are people I do not like in this world, in our art world, but I'll tell you this. I don't look at their stuff. I don't care. Sometimes I see people sharing it or they're involved, and I just don't watch it. But I'm not going to give them a thumbs down. And I'm not going to leave them a nasty message. Whatever, do your thing. I do my thing. And that's how it works. So yeah, so that was kind of that. And then, like I said, I started getting on here, and then I started getting people new to everything, to the art and all that, and watching and asking questions. And then, I mean, it just turned into all this, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything. I love the emails, and I love the people I meet, and getting to be friends with people that I just normally wouldn't be friends with because they don't live here, or they were different, but I don't know, I love it. And I'm sure most people on YouTube would tell you, when you think about the people that you meet, it's crazy. It's crazy. But it's good. Because I wouldn't have, it's so inspiring watching people. Oh, I know what it was. Leaving the comment. Anyway, that I had commented, and then I got in trouble. Like, I thought I was defending the person who owned it, or who was running it, rather. And I was. But she said I should have kept my mouth shut and everything like that. And then that kind of was the end of that for her and I. Because I don't keep my mouth. I mean, when people are being rude, for the most part, especially to other people, because she wasn't being rude to me. It ended up that she was being rude to me because she went and wrote a big blog post about me and all that shit. And I don't really care. I don't care. If one person watches me, I'm happy. If I make one person happy watching my videos, that's fine. But this was a long time ago. I'm just not like that anymore for the most part. I mean, I won't stand by and let people get poo-pooed on. But, like, when I see people, I don't go on videos. If I watch people's videos and then somebody leaves a comment in the bottom, my first thing is, like, wanting to say, like, what the, but I don't, because I know that people don't like that. So, I guess is more my point. Okay, and these are great. These are Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. And these are fantastic. And Miguel, I still cannot comment on your comments, on your replies, or reply to your comments on my videos. And I don't even know if you're going to be watching this, but I'm going to have to say it in a couple videos till I know that you saw this. All right, these are the pens I use. He asked me, this is a Sakura Jelly Roll. That's one of the pens I use for white. This is a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen in white. They come in tons of colors. But what you were asking me about, which is Deco Art Glass paint markers. And this is in white. They come in tons of colors, but this is what I was using in another video. Deco Art Glass paint markers. Yeah, boy. That was what I was using. Alright, so let me do this in real quick. I'll just put the black in again. So you use anything that, or white paint if you don't have anything. But I like, like I use these, or even this Sakura, like for the teeth here. I'll go in and just kind of not worry how much is colored in, but just so you get the illusion of the teeth. And you can be very OCD about it if you want. Make sure they're all covered in, but they look like little chiclets. All right. Now, let that dry. Now I got to do his little nose. I'm going to do him just a little nose. So you can see how the pen writes on there as well. And then I'll color it in just because. Just a little bit. And then I want to do teeth. Like this. Dyslexia, anyone? I do things backwards all the time. Okay. And then let's color them in white. Again, these don't have to be. You can just kind of scribble in there. I'm so backwards sometimes. That's how I read too sometimes. Gosh, sometimes I hate it. Probably why I don't read as much as I want to, because when I look at things, everything comes up backwards. I hate that. All right. But it's the gig. All right. So I have that. And I want to do some. Let me show you. Let me see. This is a Liquitex paint marker. Maybe what I'll do is let's see if this does. I'm just going to do dots in his eye. Now I'll put some white ones in as well. Just to kind of make it look a little bit better. It's a paint pen as well. Maybe I'll use my other paint pen. These write on glass, like glass and glossy things and that kind of stuff, but I use them in my art journaling and my mixed media paintings because they just rock. Like you get just such different uses for them. I go through them like crazy. Yeah, just see if it gives him a little bit of something. Now maybe I'll give him just make him look fancy. Spyro, what are you doing, you weirdo? Okay, my dog. Let's do it this way. And this way. I'm not going to bore you and do all this while you're here. I'm just sitting here. I love doodling. Because there's no right and wrong. You just sit and play. Come on. How much fun is that? It's a lot of fun. All right. I will fix these eyes up and then I will probably, because this is already 45 minutes in, but I probably will, look how those eyes just make him come to life. And the mouth. Oh, I love it. But I'm probably going to stop this and then I will probably add on the end the sped up version of me doodling and stuff. Because like I said, I don't want to sit here and bore you guys. But those are the ones that I was trying to get out of my head onto paper. I will do a little bit better once she decides everything that she wants. But now I have an idea of how many I can put on the paper. That was my, or the canvas. That was my main thing. I didn't want to, and I was just going to do this in my art journal actually. And I thought, well, let me just come on. Let me just come on. All right. And then we're going to give him a big pupil here and a little pupil there for now. But I see I got to trace this again. Like that. Well, he needs a bigger pupil than that, Kelly. Just do it like that. Yeah, so thank you for sitting and watching me. I usually do this in the living room in my journal. These kind of things when I'm trying to think out, think out of what I want to do and stuff like that. So thank you for sitting with me while I did this. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'm going to put at the end here the sped up version of me finishing this, I guess, with doodles or whatever I'm going to do, so you can see the final piece. Because I know I forget that a lot. I'll say, oh, I'm going to finish it, and then I forget to put the piece up. I'm hell with that, and I'm hell with putting links in, like I say. But when you guys remind me, I love it, because then I remember, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't get mad. If I say, like the other day I said, check out April Payton's YouTube, and she's having the cheap art supplies, da-da-da-da-da-da. I'll put the link down below. I didn't. Because yesterday, YouTube was slow as anything. And so it took me all day to upload 2 videos. And so I just set them up to go. And I walked in the kitchen and started getting ready for dinner and clothes and all that kind of stuff. Totally forgot until I saw my comments. So always remember to remind me if you think of it, because, I can be a pain and I can forget things. Or like I said, it doesn't upload right away and then I forget. So I love you guys so very much. Please remember to be kind to each other. You never know what battles somebody else is fighting. And I just love you guys. This is going to be for my hashtag 31 Days of Creep. It's a little creepy, a little something. Nothing major, but